2 Corinthians 5:20 begins like this. So we are ambassadors for Christ, since God is making his appeal through us. Once at a meeting of Christian young people from around the world, there was a discussion of how they could share their faith with others. Some suggested printing books and pamphlets and distributing them. There were lots of ideas. Then a young Christian girl from Africa spoke. She said, "When we want to share our faith with another village, we send one of our Christian families to live in that village. By living there, they turn it into a Christian village." I'm pretty sure that's what this idea of being an ambassador for Jesus is supposed to look like. An ambassador, of course, goes out from a country to represent that country in some other part of the world. And in the place where an ambassador serves, the country they represent is judged by their behavior. If an ambassador behaves badly in the country where they're serving, their government can recall them, bring them back home before they do any more damage to the image of the country they're supposed to be representing. So we are ambassadors for Christ, since God is making his appeal through us. We represent Jesus. By the way we represent him, God's appeal to others will be judged. Like an ambassador, you and I are on assignment for God. The way in which we conduct ourselves can make someone more or less likely to follow Jesus, to seek to be a person who serves God. We have more influence than we might think. For many years, surveys have shown that when someone converts to the Christian faith, they are most likely to do so because of the influence of a friend who is already a Christian. What you and I do represents Jesus to others. Several years ago, I read a book that included the story of a woman who lived alone and had a same-day surgery scheduled at a hospital 35 miles away. Sunday at church, she was talking with two of her friends, one of whom said, "I'll be praying for you," and she deeply appreciated that. The other friend with whom she was talking, a woman named Jenny said to her, "You tell me what day that surgery is, I'll pick you up and take you to the hospital. I can wait there during the surgery, and when you're ready to come home, I will bring you." The woman having the surgery did appreciate her other friend who promised to pray for her, and yes, we ought to pray for one another. But Jenny was willing to rearrange her schedule for the day of surgery and make a 70-mile round trip. Jenny was an ambassador, a good representative of Jesus, in what she did for her friend, and her friend will never forget that. We influence others by our behavior. Someone who is not a Christian may be drawn to the faith by how they see us living our Christian life. Someone who is a Christian may be built up in their faith by seeing how we represent Jesus in our life. So, we are ambassadors for Christ, since God is making his appeal through us. May you and I make the God we serve appealing to others by what we say and by what we do. Ambassadors for Christ. That's what we are. Amen.